What's going on, everybody? You guessed it, It is your boy, Trey Sense. And listen, we got a little bit of a review, a little bit of a discussion. You know how we do it here on the channel. So listen, before we get into this, I need something from you. I need you to like this video. I need you to share this video. And if you haven't, please consider giving your boy a sub. Your sub may be the one that puts me over the 5,000 sub mark. We're just over 100 subs away. So what we got here, this is my holy grail. This is my holy grail of fragrances. These 7 fragrances in my collection that I would never part with if I was down to my last dollar, and for different reasons, and I will get into that as I bring up each fragrance or present to you each fragrance. No further ado, let's get right to it. The first one is from the house of Chanel, and it is Chanel's Platinum Egoiste. I'm gonna try to find me a cap for this. Why this one? Well, for one, I purchased it from my big homie. For 2, it's one that I've always wanted. And for 3, I purchased it for the big homie. No matter how many times I look at this bottle, I will always be reminded of the time that I went to Jacksonville, Florida, and he came down from Brunswick, Georgia to meet me. And he, myself, grown man, hooked up, linked up, had a good time. Me and Cheapo went and got a bite to eat. And again, this had been one of the fragrances on my must-have list anyway. And to get it from my big homie, man, it's just, cool. It's just cool. I couldn't put a value on this one if I wanted to. I mean, I bought several fragrances, probably 25 or 26 in all is what I ended up buying from him, but still, this one by far is the one with the most value to it. To me, anyway. And this is just a grown man fragrance. Every grown man needs this in his collection. It smells like a job interview. It just smells crisp, clean, white button down shirt. I mean, just nice. Just nice. Classy, classic is what this smells like. This is the classic man's fragrance. So from the house of Chanel, it is Platinum Egoiste. And this is one of my 7 holy grail fragrances. Now, mind you, this is in my collection. This is not 7 of the best fragrances ever. This is just 7 fragrances in my collection that absolutely mean the most to me. That's, so I don't want people to watch this video and be like, he said Chanel Platinum was the best fragrance ever. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that bottle right there has a lot of sentimental value to me, and it smells good. Moving along. Next, from the house of Nishane, and it is Fan Your Flames. And this one right here, again, a gift from my homie out in Texas, Mr. Jakari Pike, aka JP Fragrances, JP Frags. And this one right here reminds me of the time that I pulled up on them in the Dallas, Texas area, and we went to the scent room. And when we walked in, the Nishane fragrances was right there to the right. So we just naturally stopped. And the perfumer that was there, Ricardo Ramos, I think was his name, had worked with Nishane on fragrances like Fan Your Flames and all of this and all of that. And he was introducing his own fragrance line, which was, really, really good. Expensive, but really good fragrances. But we stopped at Nishane right there, and we were all just mesmerized at all the fragrances in there, and it's just like, wow. But one of the first ones we picked up was Fan Your Flames. And I didn't have it in my collection, and Jay knew that, so he sent it to me. And for that reason, you know, not only does it smell good because it is a great smelling fragrance, but for one, it came from the big homie, and for two, every time I look at this bottle, I think about the time we pulled up on, that I pulled up on them, and then we went all over the Dallas area looking at fragrances and shopping and buying for fragrances, and we probably made 6 or 7 stops. And that was just beautiful. That was just beautiful. And then to open a package and this is in it. And then it, my high school colors are blue and gold. My Fighting Irish colors are blue and gold. This bottle just means, you know, the world to me. And it smells good. It's a beautiful, beautiful, warm, slightly tropical scent. It just smells good. So from the house of Nishane, it is Fan Your Flames. All right, moving along. This next one I have 2 bottles of because I was forced to buy a backup bottle because, well, I just about emptied this one. And it is from the house of Ed Hardy. It is Love and Luck. Why will this one forever be a Holy Grail fragrance? I got about that much left in it. So I got a little bit left, but not only does it smell good, and this is one of my most complimented fragrances. Every time I wear this joint right here, I wore this to work one day and they didn't stop complimenting me. It was every time I turn around, it was, oh, you smell good. What's that you got on? And I'm like, it's Ed Hardy's Love and Luck. But I haven't sprayed from this one in quite a while. But the person who gave me this fragrance was a dear friend of mine, and she is no longer with us. She's actually passed away. And I call her Dee Dee, you know, because her name was Darla Dawn. Darla Dawn, but everybody called her Dawn. But we were supposed to hang out, and for some reason I canceled, and it was a day or 2 later she passed away. Went into a diabetic coma and just never came out of it. But Dawn had been through a lot in her life. Very, very sweet person, very dear person to me, very good friend, and she bought this for me. She bought this for me at TJ Maxx one time, and at the time I was trying to get my disability started. I didn't have any money, and she was at TJ Maxx, and she was like, "Do you want this one right here?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll take it. I'll take it." So, and at the time, Ed Hardy hadn't been out very, very long at all, and to see it at a TJ Maxx at that time was very rare, very rare, but it has a lot of sentimental value to me. Even though I just got that corner left, if all the bottles in my collection were gone, I would hope to still have that corner, which is why I purchased a backup bottle, because it's cheap enough to do that. And this stuff, this is a great spring and summer banger right here. I think it's supposed to smell like Creed's Millesime Imperial. And I've never, well, have I smelled the original Millesime Imperial? I can't remember. I had a Creed sample pack, and I can't remember if Millesime was in it or not. But I do know this smells amazing. I like it. I prefer this to Sean John. Sean John gave me a headache. I could not wear it. It just gave me a headache. But this right here, I can wear all day. But this particular bottle right here, will always be in my collection for that particular reason. Rest in peace to the homie Dee Dee. This next one, not only does it smell amazing, and I'm about out of it. It's probably 2-3 squirts left in there, but I enjoy it. And it is from the house of Dapper Fragrances, and it is their version of Parfums de Marly's Harrod. And if you know anything about Dapper, and you recognize this bottle, it's an old bottle. I remember when he switched to the pineapple bottles. And as you see, I don't play about the juice that I use. When I tell you I use fragrances from these clone houses, and this was a compliment beast. But the reason that this one is so significant to me, A, because it smells good, but this represents a time. Hey, I forgot this unscrews. this represents a time when my channel wasn't very big at all. I was under 1,000 subs, and he still thought enough of me to send me this fragrances and many other fragrances. And I'm about out, and yeah, I even have, do I have it? Yeah, it's back there. But still, it just reminds me of a time of where I used to be. You know what I mean? And I still don't think I'm a big time reviewer or anything like that, and that's fine. I mean, I'm perfectly comfortable in my lane. And that's the one thing that comes with age. Like, I didn't do bullying and things like that in high school. I sure ain't gonna do it as no grown man. I'm in my lane and I'm comfortable in my lane, and I'm going to do things my way. Because I would suck doing things your way. So I do things my way. But this fragrance just reminds me, and this bottle in particular just reminds me of a time when I didn't have hardly any subs, man. Maybe 500, struggling to get to 1,000, and still sent me something. And this right here just reminds me of that. Plus, it was one of my favorites that he sent me. So from Dapper Fragrances, their version of Parfums de Marly's Harriet. Great juice. This next one, again, same type of scenario. It is from the house of Happyland Studios, and it is Blue Fire. And this is an amazing scent. I just sold a 5 ml decant out of it. That is all the juice of it that I have left. Probably won't be wearing it much. Definitely won't be decanting anymore out of it, because I don't know, I may would do half of a 5 ml. I may would do half of a 5 ml if someone was interested. But I just sold a 5 ml of it and got a really good price for it. I'm very grateful and very thankful. But the way I got started with Happyland is I actually won a drawing from a guy that was reviewing fragrances at the time. I don't think he reviews anymore. I think his name was Steve. And I won his drawing, and he sent me Barbershop. And I reviewed it. EJ saw it and sent me several fragrances, and this just happened to be one of them. And instantly, this was one of my favorite. Signature from Happyland is another one that's a good one, and Home for the Holidays. But again, at this time, I know I was probably at about the 400 or 500 sub mark, and this meant so much to me. Not because I liked the fragrance, that just because most of us small guys pay for everything we get. So when we get anything sent to us, whether it's from a sub, whether it's from a company, no matter where it's from, it just means a lot to us. And I look at it now as I'm almost at 5,000 subs. Hey, that's still not a lot, but it's compared to where I came from, you know, which we all started with 1 sub, but still, I remember hitting 100 subs, and I remember getting 200s, and back then it was hard to climb. It was really hard to climb, but you got to think, man, when I started reviewing fragrances, there were reviewers like Drock Doc, there was a reviewer like Robes 08, there was Dan was still reviewing, RIP to Dan. Brooklyn Fragrance Lover was still doing it. RIP to Brooklyn. There was another young man who was reviewing fragrances. He killed himself. There was just, Fragcom was deep. And then you still had Steven from Redolescence. You still had Ashton from Gent Sense. You still had Chaos. I mean, you still had Bowtie Fragrance Guy. You still had Big Bid Business. And it was deep. It was deep, and it was hard to get a sub back then. I think it's a little bit easier now. Starting out, it was a little bit easier, but you know, for EJ, you know, again, who is no longer with us, to think enough of me to send me 3 or 4 bottles, it was just huge. It was just huge, and for that reason, I will forever always hold on to this one. This next one, again, comes from a friend, a sub. His name is Lamar Gadsden. You hear me talk about old Kansas City Chief Head all the time. And this fragrance is from the house of Genre, and it is Run After My Car. So for multiple reasons, this is one of my favorite fragrances, and it's in my holy grail. And if I were to get rid of all my collections, this is one that if you walked in here right now and offered me $1 million for, even though he'd probably tell me, sell it, man, I'll get another one. We'll get you another one. I might sell it for $1 million, but it would take, there's no price I can put on it. For one, it's beautiful. It smells amazing. For two, for a person to think enough of me to spend their hard-earned money to get me a fragrance, because they sent me a sample decant of it, and I loved it. For them to want me to have a bottle of it and send it to me, people don't do stuff like that. That's the kind of thing I find myself doing for other people. You know, I'm very fortunate to have friends like Lamar and friends like JP, because they're always looking out for your boy, and I am grateful, and I do things for them when I can. You know, as men, we don't do stuff and then talk about it, you know, publicly. It's just, it is what it is. They know, and it is what it is. But because that is a beautiful scent profile to me, it kind of reminds me of a mixture of Elysium, Cedroc Boise, Aventus, maybe Hasselvat. It's got all those aspects to it. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance. Smells really, really good. Very high quality. 10 out of 10, I recommend. But for that reason, genres, and then the name. To tell somebody, when somebody asks you, you smell good, what are you wearing? And you tell them, Run After My Car. I mean, is that not the cockiest, vainest, frag-headed answer that you can get? You know, I heard a dude in a song say the other day, and pardon my French, but we all grown men here. He said he was unfuckwittable. And I was like, I had to rewind it. Well, back in the old day, we used to rewind it. I had to slide it back and play it again, because I was like, man, because y'all don't realize your boy, football, cars, music, cologne, it's all part of my first loves. So when you say he was, again, unfuckwittable, I was like, man, that's crazy. That's the way I feel about Run After My Car. Beautiful, beautiful scent. And last but not least of my 7 Holy Grail fragrances that will always be in my collection. And I want you to pay attention to this bottle, because it's old. It's a dinosaur. It's been around a while. From the house of Scentual Obsessions, it is Andy Warhol. Look at that label. Look at that label. And then Andy Warhol is right here. So that tells you how old it is. Look at that juice. Huh? Look at that juice. This stuff right here. This stuff right here. And again, oh my goodness. That's just beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. Holy Grail, because this is the first fragrance that Kevin ever sent me. First fragrance. This is it. This is the first. Now he sent me several fragrances, probably over 100, easily over 100 fragrances over the time that we've been dealing with each other. With this one right here, it's the first. And I'm talking about the label. Look at the label, but that tells you how far he's come as well. Look at the label. Do y'all remember when Scentual Obsessions labels used to look like that? I mean, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. I think he discontinued it and then brought it back maybe. I know there's 2.0 or something, but this older batch right here, this stuff right here is legendary. And other than the original Andy Warhol, there's nothing in the world like this fragrance right here. Nothing. 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 So for that reason, and for the fact that, again, when I was sent this, you're talking about somebody that was well under 1,000 subs, probably under 500, and it meant so much to be able to go to the mailbox and get a package and bring it in and open it up, and it be something as quality as this, man. It's a beautiful thing, because you know, probably 95% of the fragrances that I have, I purchased, and then the other ones, you know, again, come from a few small people. Dapper, Scentual, and friends. That's it, and that's fine. I understand. I don't have a problem buying my fragrances. It's my hobby. It's my opinion. I don't mind buying them. But when you get something like that, when you're a smaller guy, you appreciate it, because it means the absolute world to you. Yep. All right, guys, that's it. That is 7 fragrances from my collection that are just my holy grail, that are untouchable. You know, pardon my French, but they unfuckwittable. They ain't going nowhere. These will always be in my collection. As a matter of fact, when they drop that box, before they kick that dirt on me, I'm gonna need somebody to make sure these is in there with me. Y'all can have the rest of it, but these right here, they coming with me, you know. But that's going to be many years from now. I feel like I got at least 30 more, so 40 more. But anyway, with that being said, man, I'm gonna get off of here and edit this video, because I gotta be up early in the morning. I'm dreading it. I gotta go to my doctor in Huntsville, so that's an 1.5-hour drive. One direction, but you know, you gotta go see your back doctor when your back's messed up, so it is what it is. But with that being said, guys, listen, I appreciate all the support. Thank you all for all that you do for me and for this channel, and I greatly appreciate it. I do. So, if you got some holy grail fragrances out there, drop them in the comment section below. Y'all don't stop checking in and letting me know where you from. I enjoy the check-ins. I really do. But it's getting late, so with that being said, I've got to get off of here and get ready for bed, because I got to get up early in the morning. So I love you all. May God bless you all. Till next time, guys. Peace.